For many years, villagers were too afraid to settle near the ruins of the cursed town Tristram. But as time went by, adventurers arrived to loot the old cathedral, and their business was profitable enough that new Tristram sprang up to accommodate them. Fewer travelers visit now, though, and the town is mostly populated by craftsmen and farmers.
Seems like the wings themselves are making some noises as well.
Only Rumford came back. How can that help us?
We never should have built on this cursed ground. Maybe Cain was right. Even in death, Diablo torments us.
So, it's funny. Some people were like, oh my gosh, why would you build this place after what happened? The thing is, this place has been fine for 20 years. It's only recently because of this fallen star that all of a sudden things kind of start to get bad again. But otherwise, Tristram's been fine. It's not like this place has been, you know, a horrible place for 20 years or so. Not really. Alright, so where is... Ah.
We have come at last to Tristram's old cathedral. This is where Diablo, Lord of Terror, first corrupted mankind. This is where I may finally find the answers I seek. Leah worries after my safety, but I believe information vital to defeating the last lords of the burning hells can be found here.
What can I do to help you fight the risen dead?
I admire your courage, but Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
Thanks for the warning, but I won't be dying today.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades!
There! That's one of the wretched mothers. There are more of them in the ruins down the road.
Don't worry, Colin, I've got this.
Time for a little romp through the ruins, eh?
Sure, why not, Lyndon? Now, I know this build doesn't seem like very flashy or like very, I don't know, super fun to play, but I honestly don't mind it. By the way, you'll notice that that one hit got rid of my shield.
I'm there! Take this!
Yeah, this is still Torment 13. These things still hit like a truck. Trust me. Keep in mind as well that, you know, because of Squirt's necklace, I am receiving more damage as well. Let's take a look in this cellar here. Morris Jacobs. Oh, that's not who I was thinking it was going to be. So, there's an event where you can go into one of these and you'll encounter Farnham, who was the drunk from Diablo 1 who escaped the cathedral and was like, I don't want to remember what was in there, I just want to drink, leave me alone. That's basically how he was throughout Diablo 1. So you can encounter an event in one of these cellars where you actually find him as a risen undead. And it'll have him labeled as Farnham the Drunk. So yeah, it can be kind of sad. Especially if you were someone who played Diablo 1 back in the day. Because then it's just like, oh, poor Farnham. Now keep in mind, this is only Torment 13. I've also been working on some other, progress, like earlier today.
Please kill those things before they kill me. I mean us.
And that's one of the reasons why I have Lyndon with us. He has a lot of great lines. But then again, that's Troy Baker, so why should we be surprised? But earlier today, I actually did a Greater Rift 79 on this character, so I feel like I'm making some decent progress on this character. I cut it close. It wasn't like I did it easily. I was able to pull off the Rift Guardian with like 20 seconds left. And I had already died a few times. So I was already, like, if I died one more time, I would have not made the timer. But yeah.
While exploring a cave with hopes of finding hidden treasure, I came upon a most grisly sight. A heap of dead bodies. Unbelievably, as I was searching them for any items of value, they began to rise. I must tell them of this in New Tristram before it's too late.
I am unstoppable.
Hey! It's pretty much the only thing I loot these days. Sorry if I got cut off there. I was saying, it's pretty much the only thing that I loot these days is legendaries that drop. Any of the other stuff I just kind of ignore. Unless it's just right there before I head back. I'm like, sure, I'll take it and salvage it.
That should put an end to the attacks. At least for now.
It's raining meteors! Again, this is my usual thing of like trying to uncover the entire map. Just because it's something I like doing. Plus remember, every enemy I kill drops a bunch of gold, so I am also collecting as much gold as I can because, well, this game can get kind of expensive in the later portions of the game. Fortunately, not in the real money sense, just, in-game gold.
The perpetual darkness or the endless mobs of risen dead that gave you that idea?
This is why I think that Li-Ming and Lyndon are a good pair. Not just because both of the voice actors are fantastic, but just also because I think their characters just work well together. They're both sarcastic, witty, arrogant, and quite funny.
Warming up.
There's also some extra little journals that you can acquire in this area. I don't recall if I've ever gotten it on this character. But like a number of the other story elements, you have to kind of hope that you get, like, real lucky. Because unfortunately, they decided to tie story to RNG in this game. It's one of the things that frustrates me about this game when it comes to the story journals. I'm like, why would you ever tie story into into RNG. Like, that is just extremely frustrating for someone like me who wants to not only experience the story for myself, but then also do something like this to show off the story to other people.
Leave much valuable behind them, did they?
I doubt they did, Lyndon. I doubt that was much of a priority for them. Dark Sucker.
I am unstoppable.
Nothing special. So yeah, this is old Tristram from Diablo 1. We of course got to see this back in Diablo 2, where it was on fire and overrun with undead, and Deckard Cain had been brought over. In fact, where is the... Here it is. This is where Deckard Cain was actually held up in the cage in Diablo 2, and he's like, "Help!" And we had to go, you know, let him down in order to be able to get him out of there, so... Griswold's fine weapons. Yeah. I do like that they always tried to recreate how Tristram looked in the original game for both D2 and D3. We'll see if they actually decide to bring it back for some kind of callback in Diablo 4. We'll find out.
Done.
I have vanquished the dead who have plagued the town. I'm not doing my teleport yet, even though I will be able to do that quite a bit. Just because I'm kind of like taking my time through this, but just wait. Like when I have the combustion stacks up really high, guess what? I can just do this.
Need more time.
We'll be able to teleport a lot when we're trying to get through big areas, so... Just kind of having fun.
For a long time, Uncle Deckard avoided coming back to this place. There were a lot of ghosts here for him. This is where Diablo drove old King Leoric mad and terrorized the people. I don't know what really happened here, but whatever it was horrible. Nearly everyone who survived went mad.
Uncle Deckard and I traveled all over the world in my youth, looking for lost lore and artifacts. It was so exciting, crawling around ancient temples, digging through forgotten crypts. I feel fortunate that Uncle Deckard raised me the way he did, the things I learned from him. But now I don't know. I see what his obsession with his quest has cost him, has cost us.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
Nor should she. I will help her find him.
So I'll double check whether or not it happens when I pick up this quest here.
Come, let us search for your uncle.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to Adria's hut. The key must still be there.
Where are you from?
Kingsport, the city by the sea, home to the great merchant fleets and endless nets of reeking fish.
And your trade?
I am between jobs at the moment.
You've never done an honest day's work in your life, have you?
Nonsense. I am the most honest thief you will ever meet.
I love Lyndon. My search for the fallen star leads me to the cathedral in Old Tristram. While there, I will also look for signs of Deckard Cain, Leah's uncle. She is certain that he still lives. I haven't the heart to tell her differently. So if we go into her room when Leah's in our party...
This is my room. Do you like it?
How did your mother die?
Well, details are hazy, but I know that Adria was obsessed with chasing the arcane. She knew she could never raise a child. Uncle Deckard believes that the madness and horror of her life finally caught up with her.
Can I just point out that I love that in this group here we have three, in my opinion, three of the best voice actors in the industry right now. We have Grey Delisle Griffin, Troy Baker, and Jennifer Hale. She's supposed to be like, you're not going to read my journal, are you?
A miracle has happened. A hero, like one out of Uncle Deckard's tales, appeared and saved us. I know in my heart that my uncle still lives, and I pray that the hero will bring him home safely.
So, fortunately, I believe I have the other entries here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, I'll try to play those for you as we go along.
It's a shame that bard got himself eaten. I could do with some music right now.
Slime fall at any second. And you want a pretty song?
Can you think of a better time?
Oh, hold on. That's right, we had a legendary drop. Let's take a look at it. Enemies hit by knockback suffer increased damage for 6 seconds. Well, it's not an ancient like the one I already have, so it's definitely not better than what I currently have. So, we'll just go ahead and salvage it. Actually, hold on. I don't remember if I actually have this in my in my cube. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here just to check later if I actually have it as an extracted power in my Kanai's cube.
Here, let me open the gate. Adria was my mother, but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
What about your father?
I'm told he was a great warrior who was lost when Tristram fell to the demons.
His name was Aiden, and he was the eldest son of the king, which makes you royalty, Leah. Congratulations, you are the Queen of Tristram. Though I don't think anyone really cares at this point. But yeah, when you think about it, yeah, no, she's, because of that change, Leah is actually royalty. She is the granddaughter of King Leoric.
Look, a hidden cellar. Follow me.
I think there was more to your mother than you know.
People said she was a witch, but I never believed it. Captain Dalton!
Seems like trouble.
Here's the key, and my mother's journal. What I've seen of it is disturbing. I want to know more about her, but that can wait. We need to save Uncle Deckard first.
I will search the cathedral. You stay here and learn what you can.
Thank you.
My search for the fallen star leads me to the cathedral in Old Tristram. Oh, wait, that's the same one from before. He doesn't have anything new to say, does he? No.
Warming up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I was like, so if you were wondering what that green smoke was, I forgot that Lyndon has the Pox Falls. So whenever 3 or more enemies get within 12 yards, he releases a vile stench to do some damage. So.
Villager.
place looks like a maze. Please don't get us lost.
This must be where the star fell. Its crater is tinged with some strange magic.
Which, of course, she would be able to sense, because remember, she's a wizard.
Again!
All I did was open a door, Lyndon. What are you getting so excited about? Again! And that is why you check the dead villagers and bodies, because you never know when something's gonna drop. There's always a chance something like that could actually drop from one of these. Valthek's Rebuke. I was just talking about him. The staff was the property of the High Counselor of the Vajari and Master of the Mage Clans of the Yashari Sanctum. It disappeared shortly after an incident with a rebellious student. Energy Twister now travels. I don't think I've ever really bothered with Energy Twister. Don't get me wrong, I've collected a few of the other sets for the wizard, but there's just some things I haven't really bothered with. Like, my other wizard does have the sets for the Hydras, but there's just some other abilities I'm just like, I've just never really bothered with. Even though I'm sure they're fine, I've just never really taken the time to really mess around with them, honestly. Or test out the sets for them. I have the full set for the, what is it, the Archon? But I've never really messed around with it that much, honestly, so. Because I'm just like, but, I'm sure it's fine. There's just some kind of playstyles that we usually tend to go with, but hey, maybe some, I wasn't sure how often I'd actually use Meteor, and here I am using Meteor as one of the main things for my build, so.
I am unstoppable.
It's one of the things I do like about Diablo 3 is that sometimes you just find things that encourages you to actually try out other stuff that you don't usually try, because it's like, oh, hey, this build makes it really good. And it's like, okay, let me try it. Then you're like, whoa, okay, I really like this now. Wasn't really too fond of it before, but now I am. Trust me when I say that there will be a point where I am using teleport quite a bit to help us get through certain areas. But I'm just kind of I don't mind doing this, honestly, because for one thing, I'm checking to see if there's anything here, because you never know. You never know if something could drop. I didn't know a legendary was going to drop from that body back there. And that's one of the reasons why I always feel like anytime I'm going through this, or, any of the maps and such, I'm always wanting to make sure every part of the map is uncovered, because you never know if all of a sudden you're going to actually see or find something you didn't expect. It happens, You just never know. By the way, there's an achievement for killing a certain amount of enemies with those chandeliers. I'm actually,
I don't want to change.
Sorry, pal. Nothing I can do. All I can do is put you out of your misery afterwards. This is another reason why I'm kind of taking my time going through this area, because gold! So much gold! I found gold! Like I said, having Boon Hoarder all of a sudden just makes it where you can get rich very, very quick in this game. Especially when you get it maxed out. It's one of those times where I honestly did not expect a legendary to drop from a dead villager. I'm like, wait a minute, villager, what were you doing with his staff? How did his staff get here, also? Obviously, it's a random thing. I'm just kind of joking around about that. Oh, that's right. The Lochdannen letters. So now you can tell we're close because it showed up on my minimap.
How does that feel?
We pretty much uncovered the entire map. So before we continue, since I encountered that scribe letter thing over there, let's see, Lochdannen. Right here.
My name is Lochdannen, and I'm cursed. Once the captain of King Leoric's army, I lived only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart. He was Lazarus, of that I am certain. He alone had the king's ear, and whispered dark and evil magics into it, instilling the notion of an imminent attack by Westmarch. Afraid to speak against the Archbishop, the councillors nodded their empty heads in agreement, and sent us off to die. When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage, spitting curses upon us as traitors. With great sorrow, I ran him through. I will forever live in anguish for my last attempt to honor my king. As we lay him to rest in his burial chamber, he manifested as a hideous skeletal demon. Gorash and my other knights were overcome at once, but I fought on. And now I wander, cursed by my once beloved king. Evil gnaws at my bones, and I cannot risk putting my beloved Tristram in danger should I fail to contain that which tears at me. I must venture down into the labyrinth to die alone.
Foul minions, stay back! Back! May this ledge hold. The Skeleton King.
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
Stay back!
So let me just say that that's another voice actor I absolutely love in this game. The gentleman who voices Leoric. He is awesome!
Oh, thank you. But why did you risk yourself for me?
You live. Fortune smiles on you, old man. I'm here to bring you back to Leah.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found. We must discuss the fallen star. Follow me to Tristram.
In just a moment.
Not ready yet.
I am astonished that Cain survived. Oh, Leah will be happy indeed that her hopes were justified.
I have fulfilled my promise to Leah and rescued her uncle, Deckard Cain. Now, all that stands between me and the fallen star is the Skeleton King, who has returned to darken Tristram once again.
When Leah told us the dead were pouring out of the cathedral, we quickly went to put an end to it. At first it seemed we were succeeding, but they just kept coming. We were overcome. Captain Dalton and the men fought valiantly. They protected me. I am no soldier. I was a farmer. I should not have been out there with them. I do not know how I made it back here. None of the others did. And now, somehow, I'm supposed to lead the militia. I volunteered to help because it seemed the right thing to do. But I'm no leader of men.
Perhaps you are more of a leader than you think.
That's a simple thing for you to say. You were born to fight monsters like the risen dead. Me? I'm just a farmer.
Tyrael was forced to destroy the World Stone when Baal, the Lord of Destruction, corrupted it in his attempt to control all of mankind.
The World Stone's destruction must have unleashed incredible energies.
It obliterated Mount Arreat, the mountain that housed it, leaving only a smoking crater in its place. And nothing has been heard from Tyrael since.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
Our time is running short. What can you tell me about the Fallen Star?
Not much, I'm afraid, though the prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back. I've spent most of my life traveling from place to place with Uncle Deckard, while he did his crazy research.
What is he looking for?
He's convinced that the forces of hell will invade our world and bring about the end times. All these years, he's still searching for a way to stop this apocalypse.
This is one of the things I'm sure a lot of people were very upset about when it came to Leah's character. How disbelieving she is of, well, everything. Considering that, well, you would think, because he was there with us in Diablo 2, and, well, he knows what he saw. He was there in Pandemonium with us as well, back in Act 4 of Diablo 2. But just imagine how he would sound to someone who had never actually experienced all this. Now, yes, she has actually been seeing, like, the risen dead and all that, but imagine him telling her the things that happened in Diablo 2. Now, again, think of it from the perspective of someone who did not actually see those things happen. Like, it would sound like somebody just telling you all these, crazy tales, and you're just like, oh, silly old man, and your crazy stories. And I think that's what they were trying to get through here with Leah's character. But I think it's more so that some people were not very okay with the way she was being constantly that way, considering that, we're seeing literally undead and other things around going on in this first act alone. And at that point, you would be like, you know what? Maybe there's some truth to those stories. I don't know. Maybe also seeing what your character could do could also maybe warm you up to that idea. But yeah, let's just say I can understand why some people were not okay with the way Leah's character was about all this stuff. Oh, that's right. She has a journal entry here.
Uncle Deckard is home, rescued from the clutches of the Skeleton King. I'm so glad. But the Skeleton King, I thought he was a folktale. The idea of Mad King Leoric returning to torture this place. Hasn't Tristram suffered enough?
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
Leoric's tale is sad, but I am here to find the Fallen Star, and the Skeleton King stands in my way.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts. Leah, you should not dismiss the signs so lightly. Do you not believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the texts? The Zakarum tomes warn of a falling star. The Herodric scroll spoke of the dead rising and the Lord of Lies. The prophecy of the end days says that at the end of all things, the first sign shall appear in the heavens.
Yes, you've been telling me about the texts since I was 8 years old, Uncle. I just don't think we should read too much into them.
Yeah, it's another moment right there. But I want to point out something. You remember how I was talking about when we were going through Diablo 2, how I was talking about how they made a retcon about Leoric's son? Because I even read for you guys the journal that Deckard Cain wrote that led into Diablo 2 about how there was this warrior that showed up and none of us ever caught his name. And, you know, the idea that there's this random warrior that showed up and we never knew who he was and he was the Wanderer. That was in Diablo 2. Now here in Diablo 3, Deckard Cain says, he was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He was once our beloved lord. Trying to catch the actual line here where he said it. Here it is, where he says, he lost both of his sons. That's the first mention that he had 2 sons. Because again, remember, in Diablo 2 they said 1 son, and now here they finally say, no, he had 2 sons. Yeah, again, just really helping point out the, the whole, oh wait, now all of a sudden they're saying he had 2 sons. The retcon thing.
New item. New love. Leah spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife, tending the wounded.
What? She was out defending the gates this morning. What is driving that woman?
That reminds me, does Leah have anything else to talk about? No. Rumford.
These dark events tax us. I worry for Hadrig, our blacksmith, most of all. His wife has been injured, and he is tasked with seeing to those who may turn. His family has suffered under this curse before. His grandfather, the Chancellor to King Leoric, was killed when the evil first spread over Tristram 20 years ago.
I am the last of the Herodrim. I couldn't always claim this. In fact, if I had turned to the Herodric teachings sooner, Diablo could have been stopped before his reign of terror began.
You can't truly believe that.
When the first signs appeared, I did nothing. I had shrugged the old tales off like they were so much fantasy. And Tristram, no, the world has paid dearly for my arrogance. I have tried to make up for my failings. Leah and I have spent her lifetime scouring the world, collecting pieces of the prophecy of the end days. If I can decipher it, we will have the key to defeating the Lords of Hell.
I notice a great fondness between you and Leah.
I do not know what my life would have been like had I not raised her. Oh, it must have been difficult for Leah, following an old man on a mad search for the secrets to defeating the lords of the burning hells. But though she has seen her share of mysterious things, she is still unsure of my quest. I can understand. She has never seen anything like Diablo and his brothers. The prophecy of the end days is contained within the Herodric tomes I inherited from my ancestor, Jared Cain. It is a warning to those who could interpret it regarding Hell's ultimate invasion of our world, written by many different people throughout history, in many different lands. All known versions of the prophecy are incomplete. I have spent a good part of the past 20 years trying to complete it. I am certain it holds the answers to defeating the Lords of Hell.
You said Diablo drove Leoric mad.
Leoric resisted Diablo's attempts to possess him, but the effort left him weak and confused. When his son Albrecht was kidnapped to be a vessel for Diablo, it destroyed any sanity Leoric had left.
What happened after he became the Skeleton King?
He commanded an army of the dead deep within the cathedral. finally serving the Lord of Terror he had resisted while alive. Many adventurers tried and failed to slay the Skeleton King. It was left to Leoric's eldest son, Aiden, to finally kill the monster his father had become.
And there is yet another, real confirmation there, even dropping the name Aiden, just to really, he was always a character. Aiden was always around. Trust us. We're not retconning this whatsoever, at all. I'm honestly holding off on wanting to talk to either Irena or Cormac until later. Until after we actually find them. Also, remember, Miriam isn't actually here yet. We get her in Act 5, but they actually went ahead and added her to this, but also added some dialogue for her as well.
Chelsea, how sweet of you to ask. My people, the Vetchin, are nomads. Always traveling, looking for the land we might settle. All of us have the sight, but few have it as strong as myself. You know, men have always pursued me for my visions. Well, for things other than my visions. But everyone wants to know what the future holds.
I know what my future holds. I have seen it written.
Can you not focus on anything but power and prophecy? Live a little in the here and now. It's all we have.
I like that Miriam has a response based on what character she's talking to.
The world is constantly renewing itself, eternally playing out the same events over and over again. We can merely play our parts.
Are you trying to confuse me?
I speak clearly. Do not blame me for the state of your mind.
Thanks, Miriam. And now for probably my favorite character in the entire game, with another fantastic voice actor, Covetous Shen.
Ah, very interesting topic. I sell jewels.
Well, I suppose that could be interesting. What are you doing so far from Xiansai?
The women. Young ladies chasing me around day and night, begging for a kiss. I had to leave. It was the only honorable thing to do.
I somehow feel that you aren't being entirely truthful with me.
Truth? Never touch the stuff.
I love Covetous Shen. The music is getting a little loud. Let's turn it down a bit. Just so we can make sure we actually hear what they're saying.
You are very brave to venture outside the town gates. I hear there are all sorts of dangerous things crawling around out there.
If you consider The Walking Dead dangerous, then I suppose you are correct.
Oh, that's terrible. I only meant the rats and snakes. I do like this Deckard Cain fellow. It's rare that I can find someone I have so much in common with.
You two do not seem very similar.
We both had rather interesting experiences with the Zakharum priestesses in our youth, so...
Deckard? You want to confirm whether or not that's true? Deckard's gonna be like, I have no idea what he's talking about.
What you know, there's nothing in the world quite so perfect as jewels. They have color, size, shape, transparency.
Transparency?
Oh yes, if only I could eat them, I would need nothing else in life. Not that you can't. I hear some people even shape certain crystals atop their food.
Yep, that is a real life thing. People actually put shavings of gold and such on their food. I personally think that's kind of stupid, but hey, whatever.
You think you're some type of hero, here to save us all. The dead will feast on your bones as easily as they will ours.
Excuse me, can any of you guys be able to do this? Or this? No? I didn't think so. So shut your mouth.
Come over here. I've got some new things you really need to see.
This gate is locked by order of the captain.
Alright, let's talk to Hadrig.
Blacksmith, Deckard Cain said you could help me find the crown of Leoric.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
I know it will be difficult, but she would want you to do it. I will help you.
Thank you. Follow me.
So, this is one of those moments that makes me go, huh? Because it really shouldn't work this way, but I guess they decide to, for a moment, to pretend as if this was The Walking Dead instead of Diablo.
I'm sorry.
You are helping me. You don't need to be sorry.
My love, forgive me.
Hadrig! Help me!
You see, this is why I haven't married.
Lyndon. I don't recall actually hearing him say that before. That was actually really funny. And that is why I have Lyndon with us throughout this story, because I feel like he's going to provide a lot of hilarious lines for us.
I couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt. My name is Hadrig Aemon.
Well, Hadrig, Deckard Cain told me you know where Leoric's crown is.
I can help you there. It's buried with his chancellor, my grandfather. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
Unfortunately, it looks like I may miss a journal entry here and there. Sorry. I'm gonna try to remember to pull this up to see what Li-Ming's words are about these things, but I may forget sometimes. Sorry. The Skeleton King's crown lies buried in the tomb of his chancellor. I must find it so that Leoric can be bound to this realm and defeated. Alright, so when we return, I will be heading towards the cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. In fact, I may just kind of go through that area on my own off camera, and then we'll make our way, and then we'll kind of continue from the cemetery itself. So stay tuned.